An important part of making an attractive infographic is making sure that your colors look nice and work well together. So to do this, we're going to show you how to make a group of color swatches and make sure all of your objects that you use in your infographic use those swatches, and that way you stay consistent. Now over here, if you open your swatches palette, it should be next to your colors. It might be somewhere else depending how yours is laid out. You can always go into Window and look for swatches. There are some default colors here. They work pretty well, but they do tend to be kind of bright and not necessarily go along with the theme you're looking for. So we're going to encourage you to either use another library or create your own. To open other color libraries, you can use this icon at the edge of the swatches, go down to Open Swatch Library, and there are many different ones you can look through here. I like things like art history. You can look at Impressionism and get a little patch, a little library of swatches that would have been in Impressionistic paintings. That's all up to you. You can also look online. I'd encourage you to Google color schemes. You can even look for Adobe swatch libraries. There's color scheme swatches you can load in, or you can make your own. I'll show you quickly how we can make our own. If we go down here to the folder icon, we can make a new color group. And you can call this My Colors, or whatever you'd like. And down here, any new swatches we make, we can put down here to keep everything organized that we're going to use. So let's make our own by basing it on existing colors. Let's say I like this light blue. Maybe draw a little box with it, but maybe I want it to be a little milder. If I double click on the color icon itself, it comes up and lets me select from this range. I can also type in the CMYK RGB values, your internet code for color, if you guys are familiar with any of those, to create exact colors. So let's say I want a little bit more of a muted kind of teal here. I'll do OK. There was my color as I have it highlighted here, but I need to create a new swatch. So next to the new color group there is a new swatch button. And I'm going to say OK. This swatch, though, it puts it in my big group of swatches. I need to drag that down to my color group to make it there. So let's say I want to have that. Maybe I want to make a pink that's a little bit muted to match it. I'm just going through quickly. New swatch. OK. Drag that down to my group. It's also nice to have lighter and darker versions of the swatches you do have. So let's double click this one, select a little bit darker, and do another new swatch there. Drag that down. And so with a little work, you can set up your own color scheme, and then it's easy when you create new objects and text and whatever it is to just go and click on those swatches and have everything you already need laid out for you. So there's a quick way to work with colors. And we'll also be checking as part of the rubric that all of the items you have are represented by a swatch and aren't just a random color you mixed on the document itself. One more thing to talk about with colors is that some swatches you can create are gradients. And a gradient is two or more colors that run into each other. You have a default gradient here in your swatches that's black and white, and I always like to start from this when creating a new gradient swatch. And if I push G, that takes me to the gradient tool, or you can find the gradient tool over here. I can change this color to either any swatch I already have, a swatch in my library, or I can mix my own, and I can change the color it fades into. Let's say we want it to fade into like a lighter blue, and create my own custom gradient. This is really helpful when I want to create something that looks like shading on objects, make it look 3D. I have that gradient, and I also have a radial gradient. Let's find one of those. To find a radial gradient, I might have to open another library. I don't think there's one in here. Gradients. Simple radial, and they're going to have some of these where the color fades from a spot in the middle outwards in a circle. And so I can use those swatches, or pushing the G again, I can create a variation of my own. And let's say this is what I like. I can also move these bars around. It kind of tweaks how quickly the color fades, and if I move the outside of the circle, it'll change how quickly my gradient goes in and out. So playing with those, and again, clicking on any gradient item and hitting the button G will get you to those sliders. So you can play with them. I can move the center, so it looks like my light is starting over here. I can do a lot of fun things. So there's really helpful information